Hey everyone, welcome. We hear the word entrepreneur thrown around all the time, but have you ever stopped to think about what it really means? It turns out the definition is way more interesting than you might think, so let's get into it.
So what exactly is an entrepreneur? Well, surprise, there's no one single answer. It's actually something experts have debated for a long time, and all the different viewpoints give us some really cool insights into what makes people build something from scratch.
Okay, at the most basic level, an entrepreneur is someone who starts their own business. This is our ground floor, right? It's the classic picture of a person building something out of nothing.
But, of course, the story doesn't stop there. The experts have added some really important layers to that simple definition, and each one highlights a crucial piece of the puzzle. Let's check out a few of these.
I love this one from Harvard Business School. It's all about the mindset, not the materials. It's saying it doesn't matter what you have in the bank. What matters is that you're relentlessly chasing an opportunity. That really captures that scrappy, resourceful spirit, doesn't it?
Then you've got The Economist, and they bring in a totally different angle: innovation and growth. This is the key difference between, say, a local shop owner and a startup founder. It's not just about running a business, it's about creating something new and then scaling it up to make a huge impact.
And finally, the U.S. Small Business Administration adds two things you just can't ignore: organization and risk. Because let's be real, it's not enough to just have a great idea. You have to actually manage the chaos of building a business and be willing to take that financial leap for a shot at something big.
Okay, so this brings us to a really important point of confusion. What about a freelancer? Well, a freelancer typically sells their time and skills, right? They're doing the same kind of work over and over for different clients. An entrepreneur, though, is building a scalable system, a business that can grow way beyond just their own two hands. All right, now that we've got a clear definition, let's talk about the stuff that really holds people back. We're going to tear down some of those myths, those weird folk tales that float around about what it actually takes to succeed.
First up, this idea of the entrepreneur gene. You know the one, the belief that you're either born with it or you're not. That if you weren't selling lemonade and starting businesses when you were 5, you've already missed your chance.
Well, that is just completely false. The media loves a good origin story about the kid genius, but the truth is, countless successful founders started their journey much later in life, in their 30s, 40s, even their 50s. It's a path you decide to walk, not some destiny you're born into.
Okay, myth number 2. And this one is super intimidating for a lot of people. It's the idea that you have to be this brilliant, super smart genius or have some kind of rare, special talent to even have a shot. Let's just dismantle that one right now.
The truth, perseverance and a crazy work ethic are so much more valuable than raw intelligence. Honestly, the most successful entrepreneurs aren't always the smartest people in the room. They're just the ones who absolutely refuse to give up. They see every failure as just another step forward. Let me give you a perfect example. We've all at least heard of Angry Birds, right? That game that just exploded and became this multi-billion-dollar phenomenon. But here's the part of the story you probably don't know. Before they hit it big with Angry Birds, the company behind it, Rovio, had already created and launched this many other apps. 24 failed apps. Think about that. That's how many times they swung and missed before they hit a home run that changed everything. If they'd given up after, say, number 20, we'd have never even heard of them. That's not genius. That's pure, uncut perseverance.
All right, let's knock out the last 2 myths, which usually travel together. You need a ton of money to get started, and in the end, it all just comes down to luck.
In reality, so many of the world's biggest companies were started with almost nothing. Think about Sam Walton. He started Walmart with very little capital and just grew it piece by piece. And luck? Entrepreneurs kind of create their own luck by just constantly trying, pivoting, and putting themselves out there until something clicks. They are the definition of resilience.
So, if it's not about your DNA or being a genius or having a huge bank account, what is the real secret? What is it that truly sets successful entrepreneurs apart from everyone else? Let's get into the real secret sauce.
It really just comes down to these 3 core things. First, perseverance. We just saw that with the Angry Birds guys. Second, an unwavering work ethic, because this is a marathon, not a sprint. And third, confidence. That belief in your vision that's so strong it inspires other people to join you on this crazy ride.
And this leads to such a critical insight. You don't have to be the smartest person in the room. In fact, the best entrepreneurs are more like orchestra conductors. They might not be able to play every single instrument,
but they know how to bring all the talented musicians together and guide them to create something beautiful.
So here it is, the big takeaway. Entrepreneurship is not a personality type you're born with. It's a practice. It's a set of skills and mindsets that anyone, and I mean anyone, can develop and get better at. So the only real question left is, are you ready to start practicing?